This is a podcast about songwriting. I'm Josh, and I've run a songwriters workshop in Colorado since 2021. Within the group, I set a challenge. I asked people to come forward who wanted to hear someone else reinterpret a song they'd made. And up stepped Katie and Christopher.
In my head, I was kind of like, this is the only way it could be. Like, I can't imagine how it could be different. And then it was like quite a bit different.
That's just a very cool kind of experience to have. It's almost like you saw an alternate universe where you're like, oh, this could have been this.
Katie wrote this song, Orb Weaver, and Christopher then made his own version of it, having never heard this original song. And Christopher wrote this song, Endless, and Katie made her own version of it, again having never heard this original song. The rules of the experiment that I devised asked that Katie shared just the instrumental music from her song with Christopher, in her case strummed guitar, along with the lyrics for her song printed out on paper. Likewise, Christopher shared just the music from his song with Katie, and he handed her his lyrics printed out on paper. The aim for both of them then was to figure out how to fit those printed lyrics with the music they'd been given. Let's talk a bit more about the process with Christopher and Katie and then hear the songs. Okay, so two things. What was the most challenging and what was the most rewarding thing about going through this process?
Well, definitely the most rewarding thing was getting to hear my song reinterpreted, but then to also hear Christopher's song, which I had no idea what the original was going to be like. And, in my head, I was kind of like, this is the only way it could be. Like, I can't imagine how it could be different. And then it was like quite a bit different. The most challenging part, well, maybe for me, the most challenging part was getting a good vocal take. I did so many because I'm like not very confident singer. So I did a lot of work trying to get that down.
Thanks for sharing that. And same question to you then, Christopher.
I definitely agree with Katie. The most rewarding part was hearing your song reinterpreted and then hearing the original version that you were interpreting. The most challenging part for me, surprisingly, well, specifically with Katie's song, was she has a lot of lyrics. And I was very challenged to figure out how she fit them all in.
So at this point, let's hear Christopher's song, Endless.
Hi, my name is Christopher, and this is my original song, Endless.
I can be anywhere, galaxies the limit, nowhere to go but up, endless. I can be anywhere, galaxies the limit, nowhere to go but up, endless. Take me to the Milky Way, the future's in our hands. Tune in, stand out, connectivity. Link up, let's share. Be who you wanna be. Be who you wanna be. I can be anyone. The galaxy's the limit. There's nowhere to go but up. It's endless. Take me to the Milky Way. The future's in our hands. Tune in, stand out, connectivity. Link up, let's share. Be who you wanna be. Be who you wanna be. Tune in, stand out, connectivity. Link up, let's share. Be who you wanna be. Tune in, stand out, connectivity. Link up, let's share. Be who you wanna be. Be who you wanna be.
Hi, this is Katie, and this is my version of Christopher's song Endless.
I can be anyone. The galaxy's the limit. Nowhere to go but up. It's endless. I can be anyone. The galaxy's the limit. Nowhere to go but up. It's endless. Take me to the Milky Way. The future's in our hands. Tune in, stand out. Connectivity. Link up. Let's share. Be who you wanna be. Be who you wanna be. I can be anyone. The galaxy's the limit. Nowhere to go but up. It's endless. Take me to the Milky Way. The future's in our hands. Tune in, stand out. Connectivity. Link up. Let's share. Be who you wanna be. Be who you wanna be. Tune in, stand out, connectivity, link up, let's share, be who you wanna be. Tune in, stand out, connectivity, link up, let's share, be who you wanna be. Be who you wanna be.
And here's Christopher and Katie again. Let's hear some of their comments.
I actually really liked what Katie did with it. And specifically, I liked kind of like our melodies. It felt like the melodies were polar opposites in that she starts lower and comes up to the phrase. And the other way we had it sung was kind of staying up here or starting up here and going up higher. And I really liked that approach. And then, Katie, you did something, I think it's the end of the chorus where you held the note over into the next instrumental part that's in between the verses. I loved that. I thought it worked really well. So I asked Katie, I'm like, hey, do you want to just rewrite this song with new lyrics and we can just call it a new song? Because I liked what she did so much as like a starting place. I think it's great.
Yeah, and I'm super excited about that.
Part of the reason that I proposed this format to collaborate is that when I've collaborated before, it feels easy to get hung up on small details as to, is the track going in the right direction at any given point? Has the correct synth patch been chosen? Is the drum sound correct? And it can get very easy, I found, to sort of hit this wall where it's really hard to make progress because it's easy to nitpick those really fine details. And so my idea with this was that it was a way to get to a finished product before you then started to have a conversation about the things that you liked and disliked. And so to hear that it's potentially going to spawn a new song off the back of what you did is great. Now let's hear Katie's song Orb Weaver. This time you're going to hear Katie's original version, followed by Christopher's interpretation.
Hi, I'm Katie, and this is my original version of Orb Weaver.
A spider catches my eye out in the sun when she should hide, but the end of her life is coming soon. She could struggle to the end or just be consumed. I know the feeling all too well of wanting to just throw in the towel. She offers her body up to the birds. I wish I too could escape this hurt.
weaver, daydreamer, why'd you go belly up? Did your energy run dry, or did you just have enough of spinning webs to no end just to have them destroyed and rebuilding once again, hoping this one will bring joy? Orb weaver, daydreamer, I'm thinking about giving up. Relief from the frost can't come soon enough. Another day in the sun would just be too much. But you can't help but to save her, even if it just makes things worse. The orb weaver knows when it's her time. She doesn't need any other sign. Well, I keep on battling day after day in a desperate attempt to make this okay. Orb weaver, daydreamer, why'd you go belly up? Did your energy run dry, or did you just have enough of spinning webs to no end just to have them destroyed and rebuilding once again, hoping this one will bring joy? Orb weaver, daydreamer, I'm thinking I've had enough. If the moment came when I turned into prey, would I have the instinct to run away? Put up a fight for another night, hide in the dark away from the light, dig up reserves from within to give my web just one more spin. Would my body kick in to save me from my head? Would I be like the weaver instead, glistening bright in plain sight, waiting to take flight? In the spring of my life, I have more reasons to hold on tight, so I continue to fight and fight. You won't catch me out in that light. Orb weaver, daydreamer, why'd you go belly up? Did your energy run dry, or did you just have enough of spinning webs to no end just to have them destroyed? But I might rebuild again, I might just find some joy. Orb weaver, daydreamer, I'm hoping things are looking up.
And this is my interpretation of Katie's song, Orb Weaver.
A spider catches my eye out in the sun when she should hide, with the end of her life is coming soon. She could struggle to webs to know and just to have them destroyed, and rebuilding once again, hoping this one will bring joy. Orb weaver, daydreamer, I'm thinking I've had enough. If the moment came when I turned to prey, would I have the instinct to run away? Put up and fight for another night, hide in the dark away from the light, dig up reserves from within to give my web just one more spin. Would my body kick in to save me from my head, or would I be like the weaver instead? Glistening bright in plain sight, waiting to take flight. But unlike I'm in the spring of my life, I have more reasons to hold on tight. So I continue to fight and fight. You won't find me out in that light. Daydreamer, why'd you go belly up? Did your energy run dry, or did you just have enough of spinning webs to know and just to have them destroyed? But I might rebuild again, I might just find some joy. Orb weaver, daydreamer, I'm hoping things are looking up.
And here's Christopher and Katie again with their comments.
The melody didn't come in right away.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
was like,
exactly.
"Hey, where is it?" And then it was like, oh, okay. It's like feels more chill. Like I feel like your version, it feels like, oh yeah, we can just relax in this like space. And mine was very like, let's go.
Let's go.
I guess like matches my personality. So
Christopher, can you tell me a bit more about exactly how you approached this challenge?
So I took Katie's recording into a DAW, I beat matched it, and then replaced all the instrumentation. The most challenging part for me, surprisingly, well, specifically with Katie's song, was she has a lot of lyrics. And I was very challenged to figure out how she fit them all in, because we both use a different sense of timing. And I didn't realize she started right on beat one with a lot of her lyrics. And I was always kind of waiting like a beat and doing an and or something, and couldn't figure out how she managed to get them all in there. But it was also surprising to me, I thought it was going to be kind of simple. I thought, oh, we're doing pop songs. She's going to give me a song with a verse and a chorus and maybe a bridge, and I'm going to do the same thing. And then I got her song. I was like, wait, I'm not sure where anything starts or begins. And it just was a way more difficult than I thought to receive a song with no vocal track and have to make one up. But have the guideline of, oh, here's the lyrics that say verse, chorus, you know. So you're like, oh, this structure is actually there, but it was a lot harder to find than I thought, which is why I started by putting it in the DAW, because I was like, I need to like count measures and figure out where she's ending verses and starting choruses, and if there's a pre-chorus, or if there's a bridge, and how long is it, and all those. So I literally did that. I put her audio track in my DAW, and then I put another guide track on top with text that said verse 1, chorus 2, bridge, outro, intro, so I could just figure out. It was like a little bit of detective work, and I was surprised. I just thought, oh, these are pop songs. It should be easy to figure out where the verse and the chorus is. So,
yeah, I would agree with that too. Like I just was listening to it over and over again, and there was even like you said with the intro, I was like, oh, I could put the lyrics like here or here, and I was like, not sure which. I guess that in some sense it felt like you were trying to like recreate the old one, like you were like trying to figure out how to like recreate the old one, but then it was like, oh, I guess I could put the lyrics either place,
wherever.
like,
Yeah, exactly. As long as I get them in there, it doesn't matter, I suppose.
Yeah.
Katie, can you tell me if there's a part of the remake that you prefer to the original, or if it sort of, I don't know, gave you more confidence in what you'd done? And that's not to say anything bad about Christopher's work. This, as Christopher said before, was this whole thing was an experiment in sort of parallel realities, I suppose. And the fact that with art, so many different iterations can exist. And so to share that process with somebody else to create something that you wouldn't have made was meant to be the big part of the fun. So yeah, was there something in the remake that you preferred to how you'd done it in the original for Orb Weaver?
Yeah, I think definitely the chorus and the way the melody is in the chorus. It's again kind of the fundamental difference of our writing is like Christopher waits a beat and then comes in with the Orb Weaver, and I really like that. And I was playing around with that this weekend, and now it's actually hard to like sing it the original way because I'm like, oh, this way is just so much better. It just sounds so cool.
It's funny you say that because I had Christopher's Orb Weaver chorus stuck in my head for like 2 days after after hearing it. So for me, just to talk a bit more about why I suggested this, there's something about when you create music as a solo artist, as all of us do, where at least if you like it, you know one person likes it. But the risk I found when it came to collaborating was that it might end up as a mashup of two different people, and then it's hard to sort of steer that ship. And so I think what's so cool about what you both did by following this through was that you just sort of fearlessly interpreted something and then you shared it when it was complete. And hopefully now you do end up borrowing some of the ideas or making a new track, and hopefully that feels easier just because you got to show a bit more of what you were thinking before the track became something that neither person was that happy with. And I know that's a fairly cynical idea of working with somebody else, but I think I think it is very easy to get hung up on the details, and so just to get to an end result as you both did is a cool thing before you then share that.
And one thing I thought that was interesting about this that I mentioned to Katie, I forgot to talk about it when we were, or didn't even think about it when we were in the group, was one of the difficulties of this, apart from the fact that, yeah, you have to be someone who can sing and produce music. And so therefore you have something to contribute and to be involved with. But was also that since it's a recording that you're doing, obviously like the way I did it, I could have changed the key to make it easier for me to sing, especially, you know, Katie's female, I'm male. We might have different ranges, but she couldn't do anything about my music, right? Like she was stuck singing in the key that I had it in. Whereas if I'd given her a MIDI file or something, or maybe just a chord sheet, you know, it'd be a different exercise, obviously, at some degree, but maybe that, you know, so I thought that was interesting that I was wondering if that was going to be an issue for anybody afterwards. I was like, oh yeah, like we just managed it. I just sang hers in her key and she sang mine in my key, but that could have been a problem.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. And I think it worked quite well not to think about it, because in the way that you wrapped some lyrics to make them fit, there's something just cool about any limitations
That's a
that do
limitation.
get
Yeah,
imposed.
I was just about to say that, but it is a limitation that allows you to like, okay, well then I have to adapt and figure out what I'll have to do, which maybe forces you to come into a different melody because you're singing in a different register. Or different
Exactly.
place. Yeah.
And then maybe that's the Grammy-winning performance, you know.
I do have to say, I love that rap bridge. That's like, it's so cool.
And that concludes a different type of song swap. I'm Josh Shirt. Thanks for listening. For more, see shirtymastering.com.